talkradio@gmail.com or call anytime to 1-800-927-SHOW. That's every Saturday morning from 6 to 7 a.m. right here on WMBS 590 AM and FM 101.1. Catch the replay Monday evenings from 6 to 7 p.m.
The views and opinions presented by the host, guests, or callers on this program do not necessarily represent the positions of WMBS Radio.
Thank you, TJ. Welcome to Democratic Hour on WMBS 590 AM, 101.1 FM. Our telephone number is 724-438-4593. And it's ironic, guys. Doc, welcome back to the show. Rich?
Glad to be here.
And it's ironic because we had the second Friday the 13th. We had one in February, and T, you said there's one more before the year?
One more in November, guys.
Think about that. So we're on Friday the 13th. Doc, tomorrow is a big day in Pittsburgh with all the Irish. You think there'll be some drinking going on?
A little.
A little?
Here and there.
Here and there, yeah.
So they got one of the biggest parades, Irish parade.
And maybe in the upper three.
In the country. Think
Yeah,
about
it's like
that.
New York City and Savannah and
Chicago.
Pittsburgh. Chicago's a big one, yeah.
So big day, maybe before the show's over, we might have a little bit of Irish whiskey, right?
But my last name is not St. Patrick's Day, it's St. Patrick's Month.
Oh, well, I like that. St. Patrick's Month. And again, it's a Democratic Hour. T, we got a little music. Start the show out.
We do.
All
What
right,
do you
see
want?
what we got. Whatever you put on, we're good.
This guy first?
Oh yeah, we'll go with this guy first.
We can't start without him,
Oh yeah,
right?
he's probably celebrating St. Patrick's
I'm
Day.
going to the parade with him tomorrow
Oh, that's
in
it.
Pittsburgh.
Cut him off now. Cut him off. If Justin's down to parade with you, I'm done.
He said he's going with me on opening day.
I'm gonna tell you
To
what.
the Pirates? Well, you can have my seat for that game.
All right.
We didn't reserve one for you.
I'll tell you
good.
what, we're getting cut out of all this. Again, welcome to Democratic Hour. We got sidetracked there, but we didn't get sidetracked with St. Patrick's Day coming up. And like Doc said, there'll be a big parade in Pittsburgh. Before we go to anything on the national, I want to clear up a couple little things here locally. Last day to circulate and turn in petitions was Tuesday, the 10th. Primary will be May 19th. And I'm proud to say, and I want to thank everybody who stepped up to the plate. As of Tuesday, we had 67 Democrats who decided to run for committee man or woman in the county. The list for the Republicans is 47. So unless somebody challenges somebody's petitions, we also, Vince and Trinette had to turn they're running for state committee. We have a candidate, and again, we'll find out if somebody challenged his petition against Ryan Warner and Pat Stefano. Of course, our candidate, Ellen Bradstock, had enough signatures to run for Congress. So here we are. Petition last day to circulate and turn into petitions once it's 10th.
Does that idea that Democrats had more people signing up for committeemen over the Republicans, does that say anything? I mean, you take a look at what's been going down in Texas and other states of the country with Democrats.
I think it's a good thing. More people want to get involved in a party. Yeah. And like I said, when they were elected, it's a 4-year term. The difference between the Democratic committee people, we have gender, man, woman. The Republicans have a committee person. So they could have up to the state party's a little different than Democratic Party. They could have less delegates here in the county. We have 3. They may have more, but of course they'll be on a ballot. So anybody running for a delegate from either party will be on a May's primary. Mm-hmm. So again, I want to thank everybody for going out and get your petition circulated. We turned state's petition for Josh Shapiro and Austin Davis. And so we're going to see. So it'll be here before we know it. And again, I want to thank those individuals in the 3 with the help of Fayette County Democratic Party Women's. We had 3 different events. And speaking of that, as we get closer to this date with everything going on in the world today, especially with the current president of the United States, the girls, when I say the girls and guys, March 28th is going to be the No
Kings rally.
I should call it the No Dictators rally. It's going to be March 28th at 10 a.m. They're going to have some speakers at the steps of the Uniontown Courthouse. And then from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m., we'll be down at Five Corners. This rally includes the National No Kings rally, and we expect a large crowd. So anybody listen to the show, please come down, participate. I think the last one we had, it was around
very nice
400.
crowd.
So we expect, we hope to double it. And regardless of the weather, we're going to be there on March 28th. And again, I want to thank Tracy and the Fayette County Democratic Women. So that is what's going to transpire. And actually, they're going to be down on Five Corners tomorrow at 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Last week, they had a nice little turnout. So they've been doing this for over a year. Well, this is the part that upsets me is a veteran. And TJ, I'm going to play this. We played it last week. So if you would be so kind to kick it off for me.
Yep, you got it.
Yeah. What? Absolutely. Yeah. What? Absolutely. Say it again, y'all. What? Absolutely.
Again,
Listen to me.
Rich, Doc, everybody knows what's going on in the Middle East. And I want to say this, I support the veterans. I support our military. Anybody that served this country in a combat situation, especially my experience when I was in Vietnam. But what's going on with Iran and this current administration is so upsetting to me. I don't even know where to start. I mean, every day it's something different, something arrogant. He doesn't care what he says, who he says it in front of him. He's just like he went campaigning. Rich, you said this, and Doc and I talked before we came on the air. Well, when they started, he went down to Mar-a-Lago. And what did he do, Rich?
Started a war, then that evening he had a black tie dinner for himself.
Now think
The
about that.
benefit was for him.
Think about that. In this,
One headline I saw that pretty much covered it was really appropriate. Our president has kicked a hornet's nest. And the people there are not calling up and, oh, gee, we
Yeah.
surrender. They're digging in.
and then,
And then he went this past week in Ohio, Kentucky,
right.
and he's singing YMCA. And he's
Like,
dancing.
and then I can't imagine,
I-
and we've seen this, and it's just not, we've seen this in anybody running for office. You got all these young kids behind the president of the United States, and I'm thinking, they are the future of this country, and you got to behave the way you're doing. He didn't even pronounce Kentucky correctly.
Kentucky.
Kentucky, and some of the crazy things he said there. And folks, we're at war, yes, and it's ironic, unfortunately, and we support our servicemen day in and day out, 365 days a year. Now, it's ironic, Friday the 13th, and we have 13 individuals killed, over
13
100
servicemen.
servicemen, and over 140 wounded. And this is what we're dealing with. For me, and I know there's former presidents have done this, some were reluctant, and I can understand why, when they brought the first 6 individuals who lost their lives over in
The
transfer. He was there to see the bodies coming off the airplane, and he had his hat on. And that was so disgusting to me as the President of the United States that then Fox News, I don't know if you've seen this, Doc, but they admitted that they didn't think it was appropriate either. They had another photo of him previously when he went to Dover without his hat. Then they retracted it and apologized for putting a photo. But here he is, servicemen coming off deceased, and this individual can't even be presidential. Can't respect. He had to have a hat on.
Yeah, the USA hat and 45 and 47 on the side of it. I mean, friends of mine who tune into this show, it's like, okay, why do you wear a hat? It's like, okay, I wear a hat. But, if I Pledge of Allegiance and all
Oh,
these
absolutely.
other ceremonies, you take your hat off.
National anthem,
Yeah, take your hat off.
sporting events, when they
Yeah,
sing the national anthem,
absolutely.
you take your hat off.
But for the president to stand there when they have the bringing back the bodies of servicemen who were killed in the line of duty, I don't know.
Then we've been harping on this, and it's he got into this thing, and of course with his secretary, what we want to call him, Secretary of War. What is he? Secretary.
No, Secretary of Excursions right now. I
he's,
think.
he's booking cruises to the Mediterranean
Yeah.
cruise ships
Yeah, I mean,
for other excursions.
they
So
keep
bad.
they keep
So bad.
trying to come up with different.
Yeah,
They don't
names
want to
like-
say war, they excursions, and all these other things.
One he said, oil's both. It's excursion and war.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
both.
Yeah, and he made
Come
because he mentioned it at his campaign rally down in Kentucky or Cincinnati, where they came up with the names. He was trying to put some humor. Well, Donald, it's not humor. Maybe humor to us, to you, but it sure as hell ain't to me. And the other thing, then he just one of his words he used: show some guts.
For the getting the tankers through the
oil
strait.
Yeah,
Yeah,
show
that
some guts.
They have no armament of any kind.
No.
A broom is
So, yeah,
the
right.
most lethal weapon. Go on through.
Show some guts. Well, you showed your guts back in the 60s in your bone spurs.
Bone spurs,
Maybe
yeah.
you should do. Maybe you should get on one of these oil tankers, get him a nice big lawn chair out there with his, now his hair is going back to orange. I don't know if anybody's seen that. Went from orange to gray to orange. Let him go out there and lounge out. Donald, you're such a big,
Two of them made a try, and they're on fire now.
There are more than two right now on fire. Yeah, and his different secretaries of commerce and treasury have gone out this week and said, like, we're trying to get rid of all of, Iran's radars and
yeah,
make sure
they
that
have
we
no
have control
planes,
of
no
the
ships,
airspace.
no, right?
Yeah, but everybody who talks about having the U.S. Navy escorting those troops through the strait, it's like that's not going to happen.
No, he ran.
Assuming there are no mines, which is what they have
They're-
tried. I always had that as a backup. They used the mines to close it off.
Right.
And the other thing too, he bragged about when he ran about the price of gas. Well, here, folks, I go to the same gas station here on Morgantown Street, and I have it exactly from my receipts. On the 22nd of January, gas here was $3.10. On the 24th of February, it was $3.30. On March 2nd, it was $3.45, and I filled up yesterday. It was $3.80. So it's went up 70 cents, right?
Yeah.
But no big deal. What did he say? It's about what was the exact words he quoted somewhere?
Oh, something it's like
Short-term pain. And
yeah.
For
No, it's
long-term
like-
gain.
when oil prices go up, we make a lot of money. Who's we?
Who's
It's-
we? It's not you. I know it's not Rich. It's
No,
not
it's
to
not
our
me.
listeners. We know who's making the money. And then who's going to make the money? Guess what, Rich? What did they do with all of a sudden Russia's going to be able to.
Yeah,
And
lifted
they
the
increased
sanctions.
prices. They are taking advantage of the shortage or interruption by raising their prices.
So we
right?
had sanctions on their oil, and all of a sudden now they're going to.
Yeah, and their reasoning is, well, that oil was already in the tankers, as opposed to like being pumped out of the ground.
We got a caller on the line. Like I said, we're going to see what they have to say.
We have two calls, so we'll
Two
take
calls.
our
We'll
first
grab
one.
them immediately.
Yeah,
Good afternoon. You're on the air. Who are we speaking to?
Sylvia.
Hey, sister, what's up?
Oh, George, I have so much to tell you.
Yeah, tell it quick. We're going to grab as many callers as we can. But I know that, like I said, I'm a little fired up as a veteran. I'm sick of, and I think a lot of veterans are, especially, we don't, the war was going to end. Well, he jumped in it because of Israel. And now look where we're at today. 13, unfortunately, our servicemen got killed as of today. Go right ahead, sister.
Well, Huck, he promised before he was elected that he was going to cut energy prices in half in less from 6 months to 12 months to 18 months. Now, then he said he was going to end the war in Ukraine. Now, you had just mentioned, now he lifted the sanctions on Russian oil. Who's not going to benefit with this war? It's going to give Russia money.
Give Russia money, yeah.
That's exactly right. And there was just breaking news right now that he and his Justice Department just lost another case because the federal judge just canceled the subpoenas he had for Jerome Powell and the Federal Reserve over that building renovation. So the judge said it was just political pressure and an influencing to try to influence Powell. So there's another thing he lost. But one of the things that Trump said, other than the war was over, I don't know if you saw that. The war was over. We won, he said in Kentucky.
We won.
We won. But did you realize that he said that there are Iranian sleeper cells in the United States?
Yeah, he said we know where they are.
We know where they are, and we're keeping an eye on them.
Yeah, if they know where they are, why don't they go after them?
We can drag people out of their cars because we don't like the color of their skin.
Or speak a different language, yeah.
Yes, but we have sleeper cells that could possibly do harm in the United States. And this is going to make me feel so much better because they're keeping an eye on them.
Yeah.
Okay? And then, did you say this is Women's History Month?
Yes.
And once again, our president showed what respect he has for women.
Which is none.
None, because he called another female reporter who asked him a legitimate question. Why is the FBI taking the voting records out of the state of Arizona and Maricopa County?
Yeah, she's a rotten reporter.
Right, and she said that, he said, well, I guess they think there was fraud there.
Yeah.
And he said, well, do you know that? And she said there wasn't because Bill Barr said that there wasn't. She didn't call him by name, but she said, you know, his position. And he said to her, well, if you don't think there's voter fraud, you're a horrible reporter.
You're a rotten reporter, I think he said.
Yeah, well, he called her horrible in one instant, too.
Yeah.
So that's this. But what I want to bring up is something good here, and you could go after this. I want people to know who Frances Perkins was. George, do you know who she was? Under Roosevelt? Doc probably knows.
Invented Social Security, basically.
That's exactly right, Doc. She was the first Secretary of Labor and the longest-serving one and the first woman who served in any department in the United States government. This was a highly educated woman, and she didn't come from a background
No, you're right.
that would have put her in this position.
I believe she was a minority.
She came from a middle-class family, but she witnessed a fire in a factory in New York. I cannot think of the name of it, where they locked the doors so that the women could not go out on breaks, and it caught on fire. And she witnessed all these people jumping to their deaths. And she was a labor advocate at that time, but that's really what set her off to fight for labor rights. But if it weren't for this woman, all you people out there getting your Social Security check, FDR gets a lot of credit for it, but she was the architect behind it.
Right.
Minimum wage, Frances Perkins.
Yeah.
Think
You were
about that,
talking
folks.
labor unions. Frances Perkins, she was the one that worked with them. And Huck, do you remember the CC camps
Yeah, what our
Yeah.
father went.
when our father
And,
served? That was Frances Perkins. So she was a socialist and independent one time, but she recognized that the Democratic Party and under Roosevelt was what was going to help people and their rights in the labor movement. So every time somebody, like I said, when you get that Social Security check and it is deposited into your account, remember, that's the Democrats that fought for that because the Republicans didn't want that. Minimum wage? How when was the last time we saw a minimum wage increase in Pennsylvania?
We
Long
haven't.
time.
Long time. I had it.
Long time.
Long
I think
time.
it was in the 70s.
I have it here somewhere, but anything else, sister? We're going to grab another
Nope.
call.
I just wanted people to know that there are women behind all these issues, and you can thank Frances Perkins for making your life better as a Democrat.
And I appreciate it. And that's my sister Sylvia. Speaking of that, before we take the other caller, I'm looking here. Last minimum wage was in 2009 in Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania. All right, T, we got another caller?
We do. We're going to have another one after that.
All right, let's see what we got.
Okay. Good afternoon. You're on the air. Who we speaking to?
This is James. How is everybody?
Good, James.
Hey, three things. First of all, Fox News.
Yes.
It's amazing. You know, the hat that they did not show They didn't report on 140 injured, which is going to be, I think some of those are going to end up being KIA, because there's 36 severe, but they've never reported on that. And then I don't know if you heard that the guy that worked for Fox News a couple of years ago, he said he didn't want certain photographers in there because of the photos they were taking didn't portray them in a good light.
Didn't make him look good.
You did make him look good, so we got to get rid of the photographers. And all this proves to anybody who has, a thing between their ears is how Fox News protects these guys and how Salem News protects them. And these guys, I mean, it's like the Keystone Cops you have running the show. You got Linda McMahon as the education person. You got Christy Nome, who was fired. But by the way, we're in Ecuador. So we're going to have her a job in the Central America. Because we're going to be in countries down there. We're already messing around with Cuba. And then you have a guy that worked at Fox News and a guy that knows nothing about the military and does the YMCA dance. These are the guys that are running the show. It's just amazing to me. But going overseas to the war, I see two different wars here, guys, and it just makes my blood boil, because the one war, there is no limits, none. And the other war, just like you mentioned, with that oil coming from Russia was supposed to be sanctioned.
Right.
And because Russia could not make any money off of that oil to profit, because they would turn around and buy weapons and supplies to keep that war in Ukraine going. And what in the world do we do? Well, we are now buying Russian oil. I want people to get that.
They should get it, but go right ahead.
I mean,
you're 100% correct.
I mean, the justification the Trump administration is using is that oil was already on tankers. Yeah, I know, exactly. I agree.
It's the thing that gets me is they've tried to do this. Now they've tried to release oil reserves. Now you're in trouble with your oil reserves. Biden heard that. Okay? Now Mr. Trump needs to hear that. You're depleting your reserves, and it's not doing anything because the stock market, a barrel of oil is going up, not down.
Right.
So you're going to be in more of a problem with your economy now than ever. That's what these guys, again, don't get. But we have two different wars there. It's thumbing your nose at the one and going all out for the other. And that's ridiculous, because those people over there in Ukraine are going against the third biggest army or the second in the world, and you're telling them good luck. And we're over here in Iran, and we're giving them anything they need. It's just ridiculous. But looking at this, let's talk about elections. Recently, there was an special elections down around Pittsburgh. Did you guys follow those?
A little bit.
Yeah.
Two Democrats won in that area, and that basically made a difference in the state, correct?
Right.
When I say that?
Yeah.
Okay, now, follow me with this. Those were areas that were kind of on the outskirts of Pittsburgh. Years ago, it was kind of 50-50, because Trump had some success in 16 and in 20 in those areas. I'm not saying he won them, but the results were pretty good for him. Now you have two Democrats in those areas that carried those areas. So this should say something, because here you have this happening here, and you have midterms coming up in the fall. And this is going to be something where if this war drags on in this economy already, you and I know, I can't buy anything. You name it. Groceries, now gas, because they always threw that up to you. Well, gas is so cheap. Now gas, clothes, supplies, building supplies, electronics, whatever you buy, you're paying 20% more on it easily.
Yeah.
Okay.
And wait, the food costs go up because they can't get fertilizer.
Look about the farmers with the.
Exactly. So your economy is going to, I don't see it getting any better. They're going to sit there, and that's another thing with Fox News. Cool saying, short-term, problem for a long-term fix. Yeah. This is what they want you to believe. listening to what the news I'm listening to a lot of BBC, Canadian, whatever, out of the country. What they're telling me is these people, just like you said, they're digging in.
Yeah.
You peed these people off. They're not surrendering. They want you. What they want you to do is step on their ground.
Yep.
And that's the worst thing that can happen. But that's what they want you to do. They're digging in, and they're fighting kind of like Russia, and I think they're being advised by Russia. So when it comes to these elections in the fall, I don't know. It's going to get very interesting. Very
James,
interesting.
you brought up earlier, and I have the article. It's independent article. It was by Sean O'Grady today, February 13th. Once again, Trump has put Putin before the West. Great article. Lifting sanctions on Russia, shadow fleet of oil tankers. U.S. president has brought Moscow from the brink of economic ruin. So you brought some excellent points up, and here we are. It is. And everybody should be appalled with what's going on.
Absolutely ridiculous. Those people over there are in foxholes down to their last, couple pieces of ammunition, and we can't do anything for them. And actually, we're helping the other side by buying Russian oil.
Think about that, folks, what James just said. And just like I indicated, when the show started, I purchased gas here in town. It went from $3.10 to $3.80. That's 70 cents a gallon.
In a couple of weeks.
That would be to me. To me, it's no. I know it's our soldiers, but to me, there's no difference than Vietnam or Korea or Afghanistan or any of those wars. When you're going and you're helping the enemy financially, and that's exactly what you're doing. You're buying Russian oil.
Well, James, we appreciate the call. We're going to grab as many calls as we can.
Got another one.
Thanks, guys.
All right, thank you. T, we got a caller on the line?
We do. Good afternoon. You're on the air. Who are we speaking with?
This is Fred.
Yes, Fred.
How you doing?
Good.
Good. Hey, listen, do you believe that men should be in women's sports?
Fred, right now, that's the least of our problems. Yeah. Fred, how many women do you notice in men's sports? Does that bother you?
Men are in women's sports.
Do you believe that men should be in women's sports?
Me personally, no.
Me neither.
Okay.
Why do Republicans keep pushing this, the Democrats? You're a Democrat, I'm a Democrat. I don't believe they should be in women's sports. Why do they keep pushing this?
Well, that's,
it's a hot topic. That's one of his topics.
Yeah, Trump is trying to put that in the Save America Act.
Oh, okay.
Which is a border restriction plan, basically, correct?
Exactly.
That one hurdle after another to keep people out of the voting polling places.
Yeah, he just wants to add additional things onto it. It's crazy.
Yeah. And one of the states that had some qualification and try to put in a statute to cover it, in the entire state, they found two people that would be covered by that law.
Okay. I think you got something on Save America Act.
Yes, go right ahead.
It's a big deal.
Yeah, I mean, it's not Save America. It's save people from voting. Is what it comes down to.
I do believe it passed.
Sunday, that's what it is.
Passed the House, I do believe.
Yeah. Okay.
They haven't passed the Senate.
But we have something local.
Yeah, I have something. Pennsylvania voter registration mail application, and if anybody picks one up, first-time voters, and it says right here on the back of this what it says right here: identification when you vote. Pennsylvania law requires that registered voters who appear in person to vote for the first time in election must present a form of identification, period.
Yeah.
So where all this claims this election fraud, which it isn't, this is what he wants. He wants to make more difficult so people don't come out to vote.
Yeah. I mean, the last stat that I had, in Fayette County, over 99% of the voters, 99% of residents in Fayette County, U.S. citizens. They're already U.S. citizens.
To show you how sneaky it can get, though, they thought that the House bill was too mild, and soon the Republican, but the head of the Republicans and the Senate looked it over and said, well, to register, which you do once and only if you move, that's there was the born here, etc. citizenship. You have that, but to actually walk in and cast your ballot, they wanted to add that to carry either
Birth certificate,
They
right.
say your passport.
Passport, birth
It
certificate,
takes
yeah.
you months to get it. It's very expensive.
Hey, listen, this is Fred.
Yes, Fred.
I'm the one that called in. How about let me talk?
Well, you stop
Go ahead.
talking, Fred. Go right ahead.
All right, now listen, I'll give you another question. Who do you think's the head honcho in this federal government we have?
I'm sorry, who's the?
We know who was elected to be the president of the United
The federal
States.
government.
Well, there's more than somebody talking to Trump's ear than Trump.
Yeah,
Yeah, everybody says it's Trump.
it's the last
I
person to
think
talk
it
to
is.
him.
I'll tell you a good example. I think it was Wednesday. He was on his way to Kentucky. He's on the Tarmax. Reporters asked him a question. One of the reporters said, "Hey, ask him about this missile that hit this school in Iran. All them girls got killed."
Right.
You know what his answer was?
We're looking into it.
No, I know nothing about it.
Yeah, and he's the
That was his
United
exact
States.
words.
He knows
chief
everything about
executive.
it.
He's the head of the armed forces. He knows nothing.
Well, you know, I know nothing about it.
Yeah.
Well, Fred, we appreciate it. Keep on listening, and we're going to grab another caller.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Good afternoon. You're on the air. Who we speaking to?
Good afternoon. This is Jay.
Hey, Jay, how are you today?
I'm good. How about you guys?
Good, good, good.
I'll be brief.
No, you.
I'll tell you what upsets me. I really mean this. And I listen to these shows all week, and so many conservatives, quote conservatives, call in. And we had all this Doge stuff where we cut veterans to the core, the VA and all of that. I'm not going to get into that again. But this war is costing us $1 billion a day. Now, we have money somehow for that. What upsets me, it really does, is here he is again, going to head down to Mar-a-Lago this weekend. And you know he's going to golf. You know, that costs a lot of money for him to go down there. It's a slap in the face, not just our current troops, which is horrible that he does that, but to the taxpayers. Because you know what? The U.S. taxpayers decades ago, built what's called Camp David for presidents. And it's within
Driving
with
distance.
a helicopter.
Helicopter
ride.
instead of airplane.
20 minutes. And you can get all of the Secret Service out there. They can travel by the interstate and up the mountain and all of that. It doesn't cost the taxpayers that much. I had never had a problem with the president going to Camp David on the weekend. They have all the intelligence up there. They have everything there. It's all set up that way. But he is too good for that. He is too good for that. He is too much of an aristocrat, an oligarch. He has to go down to Florida and golf and hang out down there. He went down to Miami last week. I understand he met with foreign leaders. I get this. But I watched him come off the golf course, you know, during the day. And it upsets me to the core that we have guys dying.
And why is he
here
out
we have
playing
guys-
golf?
Yeah, and I'd really like to see how much it costs for him to go down there almost every weekend. He flies down there, and plus they have to take all of those motorcades. If you've ever watched him ride from the airport to his Mar-a-Lago, how many vehicles there are. This is
They preposition them.
It's multi-millions,
Yeah.
Jay, and then probably next week I'll give
Yeah.
some figures out. I've seen it before. It's a couple $100 million with his little shenanigans every
Yeah.
weekend going down to Mar-a-Lago.
And plus, all the Secret Service agents who are on his detail stay at Mar-a-Lago
And being
he-
charged.
and he bills the Secret Service.
right, and he did all that last week at Doral. And, you know, whereas Camp David, it's already set up for that. You know, there is no I mean, there's a little bit of a cost, but that's part of it. I don't have a problem with that.
No.
It's going to Camp David. I've never had any president, Republican or Democrat, but this guy thinks he's too good for that. And that's what's upsetting me. We have people like him and people like Jim Justice, who's a Republican MAGA senator from West Virginia, while West Virginians are dying in D.C. and stuff like that, serving this country. Jim Justice is coaching girls basketball this week in Charleston, West Virginia. He's not even in Washington, D.C. It's a disgrace. It's a disgrace. I thank you for your time.
No, and I thank you, Jay. And let me take this headset off. But again, Doc, Rich, I mean, that's people, and I could see when I'm out and about, people are upset. I talk to my fellow veterans, and everybody should be upset with what's going on. And there is no clear end to this deal in Iran.
No.
And again, what's the end game? For him, there is no end game. Just put it out there. I don't care what happens. Like you said, we have the No Kings rally coming. I should say no dictator rally. And we're going to see probably one of the largest demonstrations here in Fayette County and throughout the country.
Throughout the country, absolutely.
You're going to see more people out on the streets, and they should be. What's going on? Just with this whole, like you said, you could find all this money, spending $1 billion a day, but yet, we've cut back on different social programs that could help everybody out, voters and non-voters, Democrats, Republicans, people who work and go to work every day in this country. And we have somebody like that in the White House. It's totally, totally disgusting.
Yeah, and
makes comments, shows some guts, it's a little, you're going to suffer a little bit. Look at the gain. Forget about the pain.
And they have, the U.S. increased the threat assessment ever since the war in Iran started. I mean, but he diverted all the people from the FBI and like all the other agencies to do immigration and deportation. I mean, how many FBI agents have been pulled off of their regular detail to do deportations? To me, it's crazy.
And again, if we had a caller on the line, you call us back at 724-438-4593. Doc, your comments on what's going on in Iran?
Just so stunning to wake up to what the guy can do overnight, especially after midnight. If he had called in 6 generals and 3 admirals and all, and ran it by him, those guys would have had him so chilled he'd be in tears practically, saying against something as invasive as that's going to be and tied out. Now they can't. Now the experts can't think of a way we can possibly get out.
Yeah.
Well, maybe we have a caller. Maybe they have some comments on what we've been discussing.
Good afternoon. You're on the air. Who are we speaking to?
Oh, you're speaking with Mark from Republic.
Yes, Mark.
Yes. George. About the salute by President.
And I know where you're going with this. Trust me.
Yeah. Was that protocol the way he saluted with the hat on, or?
No.
It wasn't? Okay, because I went to my next-door neighbor's funeral. It was a military funeral. He was a combat wounded veteran in Vietnam. And I mean next door, I mean on the other side of our company house, George. When I mean next door.
Okay.
My brother, he's buried in Arlington because he had a Purple Heart too. He was eligible for it. Because I know when I went to not my brother, but Louis' funeral. I'll call his by his first name. Is Louis. They asked us, all those who never didn't serve, put their hats over their hearts, and those who were in the military were supposed to give the military salute, and you could tell who was in the military and who wasn't. Fact is, I think my brother and he were the only ones from Republic who were wounded in Vietnam, and there was a fellow killed, and they had the farm over here. I remember their cows used to get loose once in a while and come graze in our yard.
Might be Mel Sapino. There's somebody from Ralph.
No, it wasn't him. It was fellows from Republic.
Okay.
But fact is, that fellow from Ralph there's also Mel Sapino. There was a Wanto that died.
Yes, you're absolutely correct.
Yeah, he's buried down the Holy Rosary Cemetery. When I visit my mother-in-law, I walk right past his grave, and I remove my hat for him too. You know, he's one because he died and he was killed in the war. There's 3 veterans that died in the war that were buried in Korea. Buried at Holy Rosary Cemetery.
Yeah, we had 50 Vietnam veterans who lost their lives in Fayette County.
Yeah, there was 1 from Fayette County buried in Holy Rosary Cemetery, and 2 from World War II buried down there. When the one fellow was in the Marines, he died in Okinawa. A couple of years after the war, they brought his body back. You know, it was a repreparation, what they called after World War II.
Yeah.
Do you remember that? Yeah, that's what he's part of.
Mark, anything else on your mind before we grab another caller?
Yeah, in my hand right now, I have my photograph of my father, about 90 years old. He's in his CCC uniform.
Oh, my dad always talked about it. And you could still see some of the projects. Anybody traveled north in the northern part of Pennsylvania, that was part of our local union. You could see some of the things that they did back then. They lived in the camps, but go ahead.
Yeah, fact is right now, he's got his foot on something that looks like some kind of wall they built.
Yes.
And he's got his ascot tie. I think they was readying him for World War II.
That stuff they built, that cement and the stonework is still standing.
Yeah, it's still
It's in post offices around the country in the smaller towns.
Yeah.
Rock solid.
Yeah. Unbelievable. Mark, we're going to let you go. We're going to wrap this up. We appreciate it. Mark, if you're out and about, have a little beverage for us on St. Patrick's Day. We need we need a celebration.
Have one every day.
There you go. And that's Mark.
To the greatest generation, the seniors.
And again, guys, Rich, I know we got another caller.
Maybe we'll get
one more in quick.
We'll get one more in.
Here we go.
We get another one in.
Good afternoon. You're on the air. Who are you speaking to?
I haven't talked to you for a while, Elizabeth.
Yes, Elizabeth, how are you?
Oh, hanging in. Did they ever determine who shot the girls' school? Because he's trying to say Iran did it. And they're saying,
everybody in the world knows who did it. It was unfortunately, it goes to show you the intelligence we didn't have. You know, and unfortunately,
Don't they know what they're bombing?
Well, they knew what they were bombing. Yeah. Trust me. And for him just to kick the can down the road, we made a horrible mistake. Unfortunately, admit it.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. And can I end with 2 things?
Yes, please.
Number 1, Trump said there are no Walmarts in Iran, there's just Targets. And then somebody threw a beer at him, but he didn't get hurt because it was a draft and he dodged it.
Oh, you made our day, girl.
I always like to tell jokes.
Oh, no, that's the way to end the show. Put a little humor in it. I like that. You call here anytime. Rich, what you got one other thing before we wrap this up? Oh, we will. Thank you. Likewise.
No, I got one other thing. A friend of mine, Ted, called last week, and he's teasing me about
a Trump watch, right?
He brought me for a Christmas gift, a Trump watch. Okay, here is the Trump watch, and I'll show it. I don't know if it's available on
our cameras here.
On our cameras, but it's a Trump watch, and it has Donald J. Trump insignia on the bottom. But you know what? It's 3:56, and his watch says it's only a little bit after 3 o'clock, so he's behind the times.
Oh, now we got comedians on our show. But that was nice of you. Let me see this.
Yeah, it's a nice watch.
It is. I bet you it's not made in America, but that was nice of your
Ted,
buddy Ted to do that.
Yeah.
Well, T, we got about 2 minutes?
About 2 minutes.
Yeah, we want to thank everybody that called. And again, I don't see this situation going anywhere quick here in the Middle East, and it's a sad situation. But again, you know, this all could change, and it's going to change here in the fall when we have the election.
No, it might change even sooner than that.
Oh, yeah, but I mean,
There's a big bright spot. Just to add on, you mentioned the importance of the committee people signing on to stand for election, but they're the key, because is there any drop-off in the census in the Democrat areas, the cover that territory you have to cover for the federal offices is really big. So it makes it really important. And a key to that is the big race that they had in Texas, outside of Dallas.
We're winning.
Well, the important numbers were the people that voted for in the Democrats that won two, Tallarico and the other, 100,000 more Democrats voted than voted the Republicans did at his high water mark for Trump.
Before we finish
that's
this,
a big deal.
Before we finish the
100,000.
show, we urge everybody, please call your congressman, call your two senators, or Democrat and Republican. What's going on in the country? T, we're going to wrap it up. We appreciate Rich, Doc. T, could we go with finish the song? What we started with a little bit.
You got it. Whatever you want. Go ahead.
All righty, we're going to go. All right, and we'll be back here next Friday on WMBS.
And it won't be the 13th.
And it won't be the 13th.